It is with a heavy heart that I rise to speak on this motion and to support the wonderful words of both the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition. Like the member for Hunter, I acknowledge the other natural disasters in WA, in the Northern Territory, in the Hunter that have occurred over the summer, but of course I want to spend this contribution speaking about the terrible bushfire that occurred in Wye River and Separation Creek on Christmas Day 2015. Madam Deputy Speaker, for anyone who hasn't visited, this is a magical part of the world. Two tiny settlements on the Great Ocean Road, nestled between this magnificent, iconic coastline and the Great Otway National Park. As a child, I camped in the local caravan park with my family every Easter, and the two caravan parks, the Wye River General Store, the pub and the Surf Life Saving Club were and remain the lifeblood of this community. Through sheer bravery, good planning and determination, all of these community assets were saved on Christmas Day. Through an incredible miracle, I think it's fair to say, there was no loss of life, no serious injuries. But within a matter of hours, the ferocity of this fire had taken 116 homes. Many were holiday homes that had been in families for generations. Around a dozen permanent residents lost their homes. This included 3 members of the Wye River CFA. People like Tony and Leslie Maley, who lost everything except their beloved cat, Muppet. The Turnbull government stands shoulder to shoulder with the people of Wye River and Separation Creek as they embark on the long and painful rebuilding process after the terrible Christmas Day bushfire. Within a matter of days, Mr Deputy Speaker, Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull and his wife Lucy joined me to visit this community and see firsthand the devastation. It was an incredibly important opportunity to say thank you and to commend this community for its bravery, its resilience and its positivity in the face of such adversity. To members of the Wye River CFA led by Captain Roy Moriarty, who have become real local heroes. To the many other firefighters and emergency workers, including CFA volunteers from right across south-western Victoria. To the community members who worked around the clock, from the Surf Club to provide vital support, food, water, emergency shelter. And to the many people now involved in the recovery phase, including the very difficult task of rebuilding these homes. There are some very significant challenges in an area of such high fire risk and with the sort of topography that makes Wye River and Separation Creek so unique. Land stability, water quality, the cost of rebuilding in such steep terrain, the damage done to local businesses during the most important 2 weeks of the year when the town would ordinarily be swamped with tourists. And let's not forget, the town was actually closed down to the public for about a week, with the Great Ocean Road closed as well. So it's been very, very tough for local businesses. The Commonwealth is of course very pleased to be providing vital support as this community begins the difficult and painful journey to rebuild and recover. Under long-standing cost-sharing arrangements known as their Natural Disaster Relief and Recovery Arrangements, the Commonwealth and Victorian governments have activated a range of assistance to support affected communities, including personal hardship and distress assistance to help meet immediate needs, repair damaged homes and provide counselling support, assistance for the demolition and clean-up of residential properties, including the disposal of debris and asbestos, contaminated material from destroyed homes, and the asbestos is a very big issue, and financial assistance for local and state authorities to restore damaged public infrastructure and undertake disaster recovery operations. So the support is extensive. The Victorian Government has also announced it will establish a one-stop shop to assist with rebuilding and planning, which is so important, funding for water infrastructure and marketing to boost tourism. There's a $1 million Economic and Community Recovery Fund which will go towards locally driven recovery priorities to support local businesses. I'm very pleased to say, Deputy Speaker, that with the support of the Minister for Communications, the Commonwealth was also able to assist the Falls Festival, which is normally based in the outskirts of Lorne, a wonderful event for our region, very important for the local economy, and due to the evacuation, not just, of course, of Wye River and Separation Creek, but also Lorne, that had to be relocated. So we're very, very proud to have supported that important festival. There's been an incredible effort from the Spirit Foundation, which has raised a very considerable amount of money to support the community as it recovers. I am concerned that only one permanent resident has been able to access the larger $32,500 grant, and I've raised this with the Victorian Government, which administers the scheme, and I'm hopeful that this particular matter can be resolved. What's also clear from this natural disaster is the importance that fire sirens played in Wye River and Lorne, where they are being trialled. They were activated, and generally the feedback is that they worked extremely well. It's very disappointing that the Victorian Government has not allocated the $3 million in its budget. This request was refused last year to provide fire sirens all along the Great Ocean Road, where they are desperately needed. Places like Anglesey, Airies Inlet, Fairhaven, Moggs Creek, where the memories of Ash Wednesday still run very, very deep. So I do hope that this matter can be urgently remedied. Mr Deputy Speaker, there's a number of other issues, of course, and as the local federal MP for this area, there is no doubt that Wye River and Separation Creek will need much more ongoing support. I'm focused on how our government can deliver better communications. Improved mobile reception is one particular need in this community, as well as the expedited rollout of the NBN. The NBN is being rolled out to some 70,000 premises across Corangamite, but Wye and Sep Creek are currently not on the rollout plan, so I'm hoping that that can be remedied as well. One of the great commitments that we have made, Deputy Speaker, unfortunately a commitment not shared by federal Labor, was $50 million towards an upgrade of the Great Ocean Road in partnership with the state, announced by the previous Liberal state government. This has been received incredibly positively. We're also allocating some $4 million to upgrade the Separation Creek Bridge in this community, which is wonderful. But there's no doubt on such an iconic road, on such a challenging geographical road, more investment is required. And even in places like Kennett River and at the Moggs Creek Arch, we need some basic tourism infrastructure, such as toilet blocks, to make the tourist experience much more significant. Better signage, better investment in this road, because this is the centrepiece of a $2.1 billion local economy in terms of what it contributes to the tourism economy as an incredibly important tourism asset, not just at a national level but at an international level. So, Mr Deputy Speaker, I do need to acknowledge that every year many Corangamite residents face the threat of bushfire. And we've been very, very proud of the mobile base stations that we've rolled out, because mobile communications during any emergency are so incredibly important. We've announced mobile base stations for Gellibrand, Carlisle River, Carwarren and Derreel, all areas of high fire risk. And I am hoping that Telstra will prioritise these areas, as well as look at other vital areas that need communications along the Great Ocean Road in places like Airies, Belbrae and Anglesey. There are many issues facing these communities at this very difficult time, both immediate issues and, of course, some of the longer-term issues that I've referred to in relation to bushfire mitigation and better management when such a terrible emergency does occur. I join with the Wye River and Separation Creek communities in saying it's an incredible feat of bravery that we've seen. There's incredible resilience. There is incredible determination by this community to get back on its feet, and I will be there with the community doing whatever I can proudly as their local member. Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker.